So who's the better asset for blacks? Anton Daniels or Tariq Nasheed? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logical Reason. And as always, I'm going to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, I barely watch Oshey do Jackson videos anymore. At best, I probably look at the thumbnail and just laugh. But it's just too much gossipy drama for me and too much pro-black victimhood. I'm just not for that. Now, I did see him upload a video claiming that Tariq Nasheed took shots at Anton Daniels. Now, I actually watched the video, and basically, what did Tariq Nasheed say? He called Anton Daniels a tether, which Anton is not a tether. Now a tether, for those who don't know, a tether is supposed to be a black person who migrate to America from their home country and they try to cosplay as black, which means absolutely nothing. Well, it seems that the word is now morphing into any black person, regardless of where you are, where you were born or raised, that disagrees with black victimhood, they're going to call you a tether. Well, Anton is neither. He's neither a black person who migrated to America from another country trying to cosplay as black, nor is he a black person that migrated from America. Migrated to America from some other country. He basically grew up in the same city that Tariq grew up in, and that would be Detroit. Anyway, toward the end of that video, Oshey asked the question, who is better for blacks? Now, to really answer that question, you have to analyze both these guys and who they are. Now, Anton, again, he's been nothing but transparent. He tell you about his track record. He started out working at a steel mill straight out of high school, which was possible then, up there in that area, right? He worked overtime. He saved enough money he took that money, he put it to real estate. He also went to school for software engineering. He's into real estate. He has several business ventures. He's had restaurants he's tried, but he hires black people. He also speaks out against black victimhood, tell blacks to stop being victimhood over absolutely nothing. But he has a group that he calls the bag chasers, and in which he gives stock tips on, ways and advice on making money, such as put your money into, if you have a good sum of money, put it into, instead of having it in a regular bank like a Chase, put it into a high yield or high interest earning account. That way it'll earn you more interest, stuff like that. He just gives, stock tips on things that he will invest in, things that you should look for when you're investing in a company. He gives that type of advice to people so that they can make money. Now, Tariq, on the other hand, has been around quite a while. He started out teaching Mac lessons. I don't understand how teaching men how to Mac women is going to help the community, but according to people, that those Macking books he wrote is not really about Macking. It's about economics and how to make money. That's what people claim. I've never read any books, so I can't deny the claim. But I will say I never heard Tariq Nasheed give any financial advice to anyone. Matter of fact, the only real thing I hear him talk about finances is group economics. Of course, to that I say you can't practice group economics until you practice economics in the first place. Well, he's since ventured into the race hustling game because obviously it's very profitable to tell black people to be victims, which he partake in it. And he has a series of documentaries, films that I call fake-umentaries, that are called Hidden Colors. Now, these documentaries are supposed to reveal information that was hidden by the white man. I watched some of the first film, and what I watched of the film, I found myself asking, okay, and how are black people being held back because of this knowledge that's not really hidden, is just not well known? So from what I've seen in that first documentary, Hidden Colors, nothing in that film is going to help black people overcome anything. Matter of fact, the only thing that those documentaries are going to do is basically have a Rosewood effect that I see, or Mississippi Burn. Is when black people watch those movies, they get angry and enraged over race to see what white folks did to black people back in the day. So at best, those documentaries are going to only have that impact. So then I asked myself, you have one man who's basically financially sound and has done very well for himself financially, who's trying to tell other black people how to become financially sound the way he did it. And then you have another black man who's basically done well for himself financially, but he's telling other black people to be perpetual victims. Well, it's clear who's the better asset for black people. That would be Anton Daniels. And he's been on the social media for maybe, I would say 3 to 4 years. But he definitely is a better asset to black people. It's not even close. Only people who believe that Tariq Nasheed is better for blacks will be those brain dead, brainwashed blacks who I always talk about, that just want to be victims. But it's clear as plain as can be who's really the better asset for black people, and that's Anton. It's not even an argument. But like I said, people have their own opinions. That people would disagree. You know, they will continue to, be brainwashed. They will continue to call this man a tether over for absolutely nothing that means absolutely nothing that I'm pretty sure Anton couldn't care less about. And really anybody who's called a tether really truly shouldn't give a damn about that, because it's going to get to a point where it literally means nothing. And it really doesn't mean much right now. Anyway, like I said, that's my 2 cents on it. I don't see how anyone can say that Tariq Nasheed is this great asset for black people, but Anton not. Tariq Nasheed, who basically really regurgitates all the nonsense that he's heard and read. I don't think he really has an original thought. He read from the older heads, the old race hustlers, Dr. Claude Anderson and Neely Fuller Jr., and he just repackaged it and regurgitated it. But anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on it. Like I said, Anton Daniels is an asset to black people, but most blacks, because of black victimhood, won't see it, just like they won't see, Clarence Thomas was an asset to black, or the guy who was in Trump's first administration who was over her, the brain surgeon. I can't think of his name right now, but he's an asset, but they'll call him a coon on the time sellout. And as always, y'all, until next time.